Good evening, everyone. When it comes to international football, Holland still stand for so much that is glorious in the game. World Cup runners-up twice in the 70s, European champions in 1988, semi-finalists last summer. For all the difficulties the Dutch have had in this group so far, England are taking on talent and tradition tonight. Despite the irritation of injury to Ian Wright and the loss of specialist left-backs, which has led to Martin Keown's international comeback, Les Ferdinand, unfit in Turkey, is the natural replacement for Wright. Paul Gascoigne's worries about his knee have been wiped away by his medical advisors. His calf strain, a greater threat to his appearance tonight, has cleared up. There is a school of thought in Holland that Danny Blind, the deputy for Ronald Koeman, will actually strengthen their side defensively, but the emphasis looks to be in this selection on attack, with Ruud Gullit and Mark Overmars in wide positions, Dennis Bergkamp so dangerous coming from deep, and Johnny Bosman back as a central striker for the first time for 3 years. He scored a superb goal here the last time Holland played at Wembley. Well, Graham Taylor's team has been developing promisingly, but how good is it? We could learn a lot about that tonight.
I'd love to see a fast start. I think England need it. It would be great if they could get themselves going and set the pace of the game right from the off. Quick tempo of the game will suit them.
Here's Gascoigne. Straight away. The free kick given against Vichka. As Paul Ince powered on towards the penalty area then.
Well, this is interesting. Less than a minute on the clock. And two real specialists out there, and Paul Gascoigne and John Barnes.
Well, Gascoigne sets his sights. Ed Dafoe, still pretty much a rookie in the Dutch goal. It's his 4th cap tonight. Barnes beats him! Brilliantly for England! Just over a minute gone. And quite simply, a sensational start. John Barnes puts the critics in their place. They have no place, really. Look at this.
Well, I said this could be dangerous. And look at the accuracy of Barnes' free kick. That was the important thing. He was able to get the ball up, but what was most important, as it went over the top of the wall, look at the way he gets it down on target and into that corner to give De Gea absolutely no chance. What a start for John Barnes.
Anything that Chris Waddle could do at Wembley in an FA Cup semi-final, John Barnes can match in the context of the World Cup. Here's Ince, who earned the free kick. And amazing to think that the last time that England played Holland in Italian 90, with almost the last kick of that game, Stuart Pearce, from just such a position, put the ball in the Dutch net from a free kick that was ruled to be indirect. But it didn't count, England didn't win. Well, will they win tonight? Barnes has given them a really brilliant start.
One thing I don't expect the Dutch to do is panic in any shape or form. They've got bags of experience out there on the pitch tonight. This is a setback for them, but they'll want to play their way into the game. But for England, absolutely wonderful start.
Adams. Woods clears. Here's Gascoigne, who was full of typical bounce and bobble when the teams arrived. Free kick against Platt. Another view.
Watch the accuracy, look at that.
We're getting information from down on the touchline that the Dutch are trying to get Wouters in particular to involve Overmars down the left-hand side. As they look to hit back. night when Holland feel they cannot afford to lose, and with England having two big away games coming up in Poland and in Norway, really a similar description applies for Graham Taylor's team as well. Keown will want to work the ball onto his right foot more often than not. Barnes. Just too high for Ferdinand, and it's fired into the side netting by Platt.
Well, it's easy to be critical from here, but David Platt really did have a lot more time than he realised. And this is what John Barnes has got in his repertoire as well, his delivery into the box. Magical left foot when it's working. Plays this ball into a real danger area.
Here's Vichka with plenty of room. Overmars, this precocious talent. Bosman is very good in the air, it won't reach him. Bergkamp had stolen in behind Walker, who wasn't distracted by that and dealt with the cross. Platt furthest forward. Bergkamp. Oh, just cut out by Keown. And certainly Holland wanting to use the full width of Wembley, with Gullit on the right, Overmars on the left. Oh, that's arrogantly done by Gascoigne, just spinning it down the line for Barnes. It's a very timely tackle for Holland by Wouters.
Situation was made for John Barnes as well, a 1-against-1. You really did fancy him there, just to skip past Jan Wouters.
Vichka. In close attendance, Dixon at the back of Overmars. And they plotted well down the left-hand side of Holland here. Overmars runs on for Wouters.
That all because Mark Overmars there played the ball back, immediately spun into the hole, and that a real warning. And warning again though that Jan Wouters found plenty space at the edge of the box. England, I'm sure, will allow the Dutch plenty of possession in the midfield area and say, go on, see what you can do to break us down. England, on the other hand, will rely on real quick, sharp breaks to expose any deficiencies in the Dutch defence.
Platt. Gascoigne pushing forward. You might remember in Turkey in the second half, he had a spell as an out-and-out attacker. And his goal ratio has improved for England under Graham Taylor. He scored 3 in the last 3 games. Carlton Palmer, as they say, runs for fun. He gets frustrated really when he's restricted, as he has been at club level, playing at the back, although he does such a fine job there for Sheffield Wednesday. But the engine was running well then. And it's a corner to England. Coming up to 20 minutes gone at Wembley. Already 1 goal from a set play. And Gascoigne, corner taker and cheerleader. Oh, De Goey came almost under his crossbar. That's it! And the goalkeeper was going across as if he felt he would have had to save it. And England have another corner.
Well, I think he would have had to save that. And I think Paul Ince's reaction there shows how disappointed he is. I think it was Johnny Bosman got in the way.
Well, Gascoigne with plenty to aim for by the near post. It's a little deeper than that. De Goey didn't claim it. That's the concern that the Dutch camp have about him, coming off his line. Gascoigne teasing Gullit. And there might well have been contact there, but the nature of the fall was perhaps a little too Italian for the Danish referee. If he'd have gone down in a more natural way, England would have had a free kick in a very promising area.
Ruud Gullit hasn't played in Italy all these years, Matt, without learning a trick or two himself. Certainly looked to me as if Paul Gascoigne had no reason to get down. It looked to me as if he'd beaten him and left him for dead. But it might just be that the Italian tricks that Ruud Hullets learned were proved useful for him there.
Keown making sure the ball didn't reach Bosman. It breaks now to where Holland have 3 players. On the ball is Bergkamp. Overmars staying close to the left touchline. Now Vichka, Bosman and Hullet repositioning in the centre, with Keown right alongside Hullet, determined to try and match him in the air. And he's there first, Martin Keown. That's one of the reasons, if you're wondering, why Keown has been preferred to his club colleague Nigel Winterburn, who was in the original selection. The original selection as far as the squad is concerned. Here's Palmer pressing on, slipping Rijkaard. The ball cannoning off Winter to Barnes. England have 3 in the middle. Ince. Here's Barnes. Trying to feed off the captain then. And Ferdinand fouling as he chased back. It was a sense of responsibility shown by the Queen's Park Rangers striker. But Vichka just got his body across the line cleverly, and any contact meant a free kick against Les Ferdinand. Halfway through the first half, on this vital World Cup night for Graham Taylor and his players, and indeed for Jan Wouters and the Dutch team. We already know, of course, that Norway leading Turkey 2-0 at half-time in Oslo. All the highlights of the second half coming up at the end of this game on Sky Sports. Stay with us for that. Palmer epitomising the confidence in the England ranks. Gascoigne, who loves to go it alone. Got it back from Platt, and here's Ferdinand. Oh, against the post, and Platt has shown that great gift for goals. England grateful to David Platt again, who picked up the pieces after Ferdinand found the post, and it's 2-0.
Well, it just gets better and better for England, doesn't it? But the goal was all down to Paul Gascoigne. Look at this for a definite run. Plays it, gets it back, manages to get a foot on it, but look at the acres of space that Ferdinand has. Doesn't rush it. He's unlucky, but that's why David Platt's been picked to play up front, for that reason alone. Rijkaard sends him inside. That was a first mistake. Not marking Ferdinand was a second, and thinking that David Platt couldn't follow up was a third.
Hullet. He has the charismatic qualities, and Rijkaard as well. So still give England problems here. Hullet's gone on into the centre. There's Des Walker. Laid off well by Ferdinand. The link up with Palmer. Palmer stretching into the penalty area, and Ferdinand, who in club football loves to work the right-hand side and is such a splendid athlete, and gave Holland a problem that they could only solve by conceding the free kick.
So I don't know what the manager of England's feeling at the moment, but I would be saying to these players, go on, push forward, look for more. Another one before half-time would surely put it beyond the Dutch.
Platt making the run that brought him a goal against Turkey from a Barnes free kick.
Tell you, that's a fabulous save. I thought for sure that was a goal. How often have we seen David Platt make this run and John Barnes connect?
Venter. Bullet. Whipped out of harm's way by Walker. Blint. That'll reach Bergkamp, whose flick, actually I think, was wind affected. Came very quickly to Bosman, but now Hullet will line up the shot. And Wood's in the right place again.
It's all about concentration now for England. That only the second shot, direct shot that he's had to deal with Chris Woods, and both from outside the box. Takes something special to beat him from there.
Barnes. Hit the right note with a superb strike at the first free kick of the game. And it's been harmony all the way for England from then on. Riker. Overmars, who's had one or two promising moments on the Dutch left. Mitchke seeing plenty of the ball too. I think Walker was a little fortunate there. Ferdinand, who's spotted Gascoigne. And Lee Dixon on the overlap. England with plenty in the middle and didn't quite run.
But unlucky Lee Dixon. Measure of the confidence that England are playing with at the right backs that far up the pitch now.
Adams has had to go across and just try and plug that gap on the right-hand side.
But noticeable that when he was away, both Carlton Palmer and Paul Ince got themselves back into the defensive unit.
Well, the Premier League season drawing to a close. You'll see it all the way on Sky Sports. Aston Villa against Oldham on Sunday. And Monday night, Manchester United hope will be a night of destiny at Old Trafford. Don't forget, we follow England to Norway in June on Sky Sports. This is your football channel the whole year round. Barnes. Not giving the width at the moment. Keown. Up for Ince. Ferdinand took it on the chest, and Ince sailed into the shot.
Yeah, look how far forward Paul Ince gets. What Carlton Palmer and him have done, have worked it in tandem very well. One has gone forward, the other sat. That time it was Carlton Palmer who just sat and allowed Ince to go forward for the shot.
Thick Advocat on the left of the picture there in the raincoat, a troubled man.
I think it might change things, Matt. I mean, obviously I've no huge knowledge of the Dutch side, but it wouldn't surprise me at half-time if Frank Rijkaard has moved forward into midfield and another defender is brought on. Perhaps De Wolf comes on into the back. But there's no use having someone as talented as Rijkaard playing at the back now when you're 2-0 down.
Certainly not when you cannot afford to lose, as the Dutch feel tonight. But Bergkamp has stamped his class on the game. Dennis Bergkamp, named after Dennis Law, a disciple of Glenn Hoddle, and he's bitten the British hand that has guided him, and it's 2-1.
This is a fabulous goal. Look at the chip, the weight of it, but it's there. The most difficult skill there to control that volley from that height, delicately as he does, really does take some class. A little diagonal run. He knows exactly where Chris Woods is, knows exactly where the goal is, and what a magnificent finish from Dennis Bergkamp. We really have got a game on our hands now. Look at that, sheer class.
Launch forward by Dixon. Look what Hui's come to. It's going to be a good kick for the goalkeeper, and it has been. Well, at least to get the ball away, but it dropped for Barnes. Winter. 6 players forward for Holland here. Holland. Wrong footing, both Ince and Keown. It's a corner.
These are worrying times. Just the goal has certainly given them a shot in the arm, the Dutch. Of all the front men, though, the number 10 there's looked the brightest in the first half for me. Ruud Gullit. Wanted the ball, looked to try things every time he's got it.
Vichka will take the corner. Not very well. Here's Blint. They're not really able to push out very far. Holland heads to the worry again. Blint. This is Bergkamp. Can Bosman reach this? He guides it down. Oh! It was very nearly Aaron Winter with the equaliser.
Great movement, great move. Johnny Bosman made a brilliant run there behind Des Walker. He pulls away behind Des Walker. Brilliant, and loses him totally. He's aware enough just to knock it down. And Winter doesn't just get enough power on it.
Well, we've got 2 footballing heavyweights here, and who is going to carry the greater punch?
Well, they've been warned earlier about free kicks from this range. I think Paul Gascoigne took a nasty whack on the temple there. But I seem to remember not so long ago, you and I sitting up here, Martin, and Paul Gascoigne was playing at Tottenham in very much a similar area to where it is now. And he absolutely rifled one past David Seaman in an FA Cup semi-final.
The England substitutes with an attacking emphasis too. Paul Merson on the left, Lee Sharp, Nigel Clough as well, and Teddy Sheringham.
There you see the incident again. As he goes up, there you see Wouters' right elbow straight into the temple there of Paul Gascoigne. That would be painful. And you can see the scars are there.
It's a good job for Wouters that the referee didn't see it from the angle that we got on that last replay.
Yeah, now get your own back, Paul. Step up and smack one in the top corner.
5 minutes left in an exhilarating first half. Brought to you live on Sky Sports. Smelling salts from Fred Street.
Well, possibly he won't be involved in the free kick, Matt. It looks very groggy, and it's a nasty swelling building up there.
Well, he's not one to quit lightly. And he's now interested in taking the free kick again. There's a surprise.
And it wouldn't be surprising if he rifles it in.
But it's Barnes, and the bounce was the problem this time for the Hui.
Tried the kidology there, John Barnes. Thought the goalkeeper might edge to his left. Takes a half a step. Barnes tries to find the near corner.
And Graham Taylor's team really did get off to a flyer. The player he was worried about with the crowd reaction certainly got the supporters on his side. John Barnes with a breathtaking free kick with just over a minute played. After Les Ferdinand had hit the post, the second for David Platt, and things going swimmingly for England. 2-0 up after 23 minutes. But Holland determined here on a crucial night for the Dutch not to go down without a fight if they're going to go down at all. And Dennis Bergkamp with a goal to light up this wonderful stadium here. And 2-1 is the position. So much to come in the second half. At half-time at Wembley, it's England 2, Holland 1. So England start the second half, leading by 2-1. De Wolf will play for Holland as a defensive marker. It's his third cap. There were more than 5 years between the previous two. But he scored 2 goals against San Marino, as well as doing what little defending he had to do well enough. It was the last outing for Holland.
Looks like Paul Merson's been asked just to fill Paul Gascoigne's role completely and play in that position, the furthest forward of the midfield players. I think that makes sense. It means that you're not shuffling about with the rest of your pack too much.
Well, Merson, who had a marvellous game here in the Coca-Cola Cup final for Arsenal. Overmars. Well, it would be a brave man to predict the final outcome, but I think what we can expect is plenty of goal-mouth opportunities the way this game has shaped up so far.
It could be that the next goal, I mean, it seems crazy to say it, England ahead at Wembley 2-1, but the next goal will be the one I feel sure that decides that game. If England were to go 2 ahead again, I don't see any way back for the Dutch, but another one for Holland. Well, anything can happen.
Merson. That was a bright start. Overmars. The linesman put his flag up for offside against Merson, took it down when the Dutch were moving out safely. Rijkaard and Holland. How often have we mentioned those two names in tandem down the years? Always in matches of great meaning. It's a real heartbeat of the side, Frank Rijkaard. And he'll be happier playing in midfield. It's his preferred position. Overmars. England with just one more home game in the group after this one. That's against Poland in September. And you could imagine how the self-belief could be crushed if Holland were to hit back from being 2 down to beat England at Wembley. We've been thumbing the record books at half-time to see if that's ever happened. I can't find any previous reference to it. Of course, the famous World Cup incident was in the quarter-final back in 1970, when England led West Germany 2-0 in Mexico and lost 3-2. But it's still a 2-1 advantage here to Graham Taylor's team. Merson. And certainly they've exhibited all the ability to be able to add to that lead. Against the Dutch side that has been defensively suspect, but at times exhilarating in attack. Blint with a header. Crowd trying to play their part to get England off to a good start in the second half. Platt. Clipped up by Palmer, but too long.
I think Glenn Hoddle was spot on when he said about the Dutch at half-time. There were too many footballers in their side first half. Too many players at the back prepared to take too many chances and not do the thing you're supposed to do as a defender, and that's defend. But John de Wolf will change that, I feel sure.
Here's Ferdinand. He's away. And the ball was played by Blint. The referee was pretty quickly on the scene as well. No penalty, despite the roars around the ground, and no concerted appeal from the England players.
It didn't look that clear-cut from up here.
Wouters. Holland. Right knee heavily strapped. Overmars. Vichka, who's probed away with his passing from the left-hand side. Merson. Actually, Ferdinand was attracted to the same ball, but he's got the power The Wolf was a bit cunning there and crafty.
But here's the incident here. Was it a penalty, was it not? I didn't think anyone was going to catch Les Ferdinand here, and I don't think he gets much of the ball, Danny Blind, at all. We'll see it again better from here. Les Ferdinand gets the touch from me. Blind's leg comes up, hooks his legs. I think England had a fair shout for a penalty there.
Palmer. Thinking about going it alone, waiting for Merson to get in behind Blind here. And one or two disappointed England players in the centre, Ferdinand and Platt notably.
Yeah, he made ever such a good run, and he's wasted it really by doing what he does. You get that tight to the goal line, and the one thing you must be looking to do is pull it back. I don't like saying this, but England look very comfortable to me. They really do.
Dahoui just in the nick of time from his point of view.
I tell you what, we talked about Ronald Koeman's absence and said perhaps defensively it wouldn't harm them, but I think what they have missed is the way that he pulls the players, the way he organises a defence. They've looked all at sea at times in this game.
Well, it's a different type of problem for Martin Keown now.
Yeah, you're going to get booked for that. You can't be hauling players back like that and expect not to get booked at international level.
And that's Riker.
Well, maybe that's why he's only got 6 goals, I think it is, in 60 caps.
Beautifully delivered by Barnes for Palmer, who imposes his presence on the match again. Ince has got in here, and you could see what he was trying to do. Wrong foot. De Boer.
I think he's earned himself a free kick for the looks of things as well. I saw the referee looking at him, he's signalling a little push might have gone on there.
Within twisting and turning then.
Watch it, it's because he misses the ball, Martin. I think there might be a little push goes on there, just there. But because he misses the ball, you see, he just catches his studs in the ground. And I think it's his left knee that he's got a bit of trouble with. See that? As they're just trying to straighten the knee. They can be nasty there, and they look so innocuous, nothing there.
But I don't think Ince, is he going to be able to go on? He moved very weakly towards the ball as it broke out then. Sliced away by Woods. Help from Walker. Offside was Van Vossen coming back, who chased in with the goalkeeper.
Don't you believe that was a slice clear from Chris Woods? Looked up, saw Des Walker and picked him out perfectly, Martin.
He might tell you that in the bar tonight, but I don't think you'll believe him. And, well, while England are leading here, Scotland's margin of defeat is getting greater and greater in Portugal. Dixon. Brought down by Vichka. Well, this is a busy time for the England medical men. Fred Street and Norman Medhurst. This time with Lee Dixon in their sights after the foul by Vichka.
The one thing they won't want to do with Paul Ince is take any chances at all. As I say, it may be a case he's just tweaked his ligaments. In that case, there would be no sense in doing further damage to it. And you can see there, just on the right of your screen there, Nigel Clough looks like the one who's put the pads on, getting the tie-ups on. It might well be him that comes on for Ince, if there's any doubt.
Well, it's been very hard for Nigel Clough, as you'd expect, to concentrate on being with the England squad. questions being asked about his father's situation at Nottingham Forest. Just over 10 minutes left. Merson. That's moved well enough then. Barnes. The long ball is from Adams. The long run from Palmer. And Hui might not quite have been aware quickly enough of Palmer's positioning then. Merson round the outside. Platt going in towards the near post. Ferdinand holding a deeper position, and it came to nothing because it was the player without the attacking instincts, really, the ball went to. Martin Keown.
Great little example, though, of Paul Merson at his best there.
Andy Gray's just gone quiet for a moment, having seen the scoreline at the bottom of your screen.
Sure that wasn't a misprint?
Bergkamp. Vinter. There's an absence of cover for England here, and then Palmer intervened.
I have to say it would be an injustice for me if the Dutch side were to get anything out of this game. They haven't, and certainly in the second half, put enough in it for me, or created enough. And England have really done everything right at the moment.
Rijkaard, it stayed in play, and then the goalkeeper challenged in mid-air by Bergkamp. Tony Adams calms everything down.
You see Rijkaard trying to sneak round the back there. He does keep it in, but he can't direct it across goal, and no doubt Dennis Bergkamp there just jumping into Chris Woods. But we thought at half-time that it was balanced, poised on a knife edge, as you put it, Martin. How wrong we were, because I think England have been in total control of this second half. And that's all down to the way that every one of them has worked out there. And at times have made this very talented Dutch side look very ordinary indeed.
And I go back to the point that we made earlier, Andy, that the tactical change that Dick Advocaat made hasn't suited the style of his side at all, in taking off Bosman, who was distracting Adams and Walker, and helping make the spaces for Bergkamp.
I think the change suited England down to the ground. It really did. I thought they would put Rijkaard into the midfield area. I felt sure, but I thought by doing that they would take off a midfield player. They took off Bosman, and it really has backfired on them.
Oh, how England would love a third goal now. Rijkaard. He's done by Bergkamp. And Overmars getting the drop on Keown. Held up well by Dixon. That could have done more damage to England. Van Vossen beyond the far post, hoping to steer it across the face of the goal, where Jan Wouters was arriving. In Van Vossen's defence, it might have got caught on the wind.
It's the three youngsters in this Dutch side that are really keeping them in with a chance, Martin. That's Van Vossen, Dennis Bergkamp, and the little winger Matt Overmars. If those three heads had gone down at all, this game would be over already. Because there is a look of a defeat about the rest of this Dutch side, I have to say. Those three up front are the ones that are giving them the last little spark.
Well, for some of the senior citizens in the Dutch side, this World Cup campaign may well be their last. You think of Jan Wouters, Frank Rijkaard maybe, Pullet. And although there are plenty of permutations over the months ahead, Holland came here with a real fear of the consequences of defeat. They've been behind in the game virtually from the first minute, but they're still within reach of an equaliser. Ince Ferdinand turned well. Barnes, off goes Palmer again. Oh, and it was a close call. Ferdinand puts the ball away sweetly, but the flag was up.
Close call, but I think the right one, to be fair to the linesman. He was smacking line. As soon as the pass was made, the flag went up.
Van Vossen. 2-2, remember the last time Holland came here, back in 1988. 2-1 to England tonight. Haven't beaten the Dutch for 11 years. Only one win in the last 6 meetings against this team of such talent. And look at Overmars, who was pulling back here. It's a penalty against Walker.
Well, they can't have any doubts, Des Walker. The only thing I would say there, Martin, I wonder if the initial tug started outside the box. Let's watch it closely. They're fighting, they're fighting. There it is. It's at least, what, a yard and a half outside the box, the initial pull. But Overmars, to his credit, goes down inside. Watch it again closely. There it is. What is it? 2 yards outside the box. But it goes down inside the box, and from where the referee was, he saw it as a penalty. But you don't often see Des Walker exposed for pace.
Mark Overmars, this bright hope of a new era for Dutch football, who has maintained his presence in the game right from the start, has made a crucial intervention here.
Well, I said they were living off the front for a young, new Dutch generation, and it was one of them that's given them the opportunity.
And it's Peter Van Vossen, with the hopes of the whole of Holland with him now, while England are willing Chris Woods to make a save here. You talk about pressure penalties. Well, they rarely come more important than this one. Van Vossen, who's averaged a goal a game in his 5 internationals, this to make it 6 out of 6. And he has done. And it is 2-2. And Holland have finally got themselves level. And Graham Taylor is moved to go across the track to the touchline to get the heads up for England.
I know how he feels to put so much into the second half. But I've not seen many penalties taken in such situations as composed as he took it. Peter Van Vossen, such composure on his substitute. All the experienced heads in this side. Look at him, look at that. Shades of John Aldridge, little stutter there. Watches the goalkeeper go one way and tucks it in the other corner.
Platt. Mercer. Well, he is a provider of miracles in the types of goals that he gets, but look at the celebration amongst the orange contingent. They were writing the World Cup obituaries, I'm sure, in Holland. And funnily enough, there was a feeling coming here tonight that this game might end level, because the draw, in truth, isn't too bad a result for either side. But in looking for a scenario like that, we never expected a game like this.
But when you look at, again, when it's England's away games to come that made this win for England a lot more vital than the Dutch. I tell you, if it stays like this, Martin, the Dutch side and the management are going away from here thinking Christmas has come early.
Here's Blint. Vichka. And the noise you're hearing is coming from the left-hand end of the ground. The minority are celebrating here, and there might be more for them to cheer. Walker, who was most unusually found wanting in a sprint. Mark Overmars in overdrive.
Many times have you and I sat and watched England games on Des Walker's career and remarked on what saved England time after time has been the pace of Des Walker. But really, Mark Overmars has seemed to slip into overdrive.
Woods right to the edge. England right to the brink. Dixon. Where will this lead to? Well, it deflects off Finter. Wouters. England led from the start of the second minute to the 87th minute, and now it's 2-2. Walker. Throw to Holland.
Now who will argue with Dick Advocaat's substitution of the famous Ruud Gullit now?
Yes, it allowed Overmars to go to the far side. We were critical of his first change, taking off Bosman. But in getting Overmars and, of course, Van Vossen on to have the nerve there to face up to a penalty at Wembley with the World Cup qualifying, no exaggeration really to say, hanging on it. Certainly in the minds of the Dutch, if not in the mathematics of the group. Adams, nervy, it's jumpy for England now. But he recovered well. Keown. Barnes. What have England got left? Well, not much luck there, in fact. The whistle was not for the goal kick, it's the final whistle, and it has finished all square here at Wembley on an extraordinary evening of World Cup football. Graham Taylor having to bite back his disappointment after England roared into a 2-0 lead through John Barnes with that breathtaking free kick right at the outset, and David Platt's opportunism for his country yet again. Dennis Bergkamp brilliantly got one goal back before half-time, and then Des Walker with a challenge on Mark Overmars that certainly started outside the penalty area. The referee feeling that the greater tug on the shirt happened within the area, and Peter Van Vossen, with what, 4 minutes to go, tucking away the penalty. England are still ahead of Holland on goal difference, with a game in hand, but with just one World Cup qualifier at Wembley to come. The Dutch fans feel the joy of the evening, while the England supporters and indeed the players go away shaking their heads. It looked for so long as though it was going to be a night of glory.